At 16 years old, I made $10,000. Not from YouTube, not from crypto, not from some get rich quick scheme. I made it from whatever I could to make money. Cutting grass, doing graphic design, learning skills online. And honestly, at the time, I didn't realize, but I was building the foundation for everything I'm doing today. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I made my first $10,000 as a teenager and what I learned from it. Hey man, appreciate y'all guys for clicking on this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if y'all is new. We's back with another video. I see a lot of people online talking about making money online, entrepreneurship, side hustles, and most people never talk about what it actually looks like when you're starting from nothing. I'm just a young nigga from Killeen, born and raised, trying to make some money. So like I ain't come from nothing, but I came from, I'm talking about nothing as in $0 in my bank account, not even knowing what a bank account is, to trying to make money online because I see things online I want to pay for, to now, okay, I could just do this shit, print money now. No business connections. Hey, my parents, they wasn't the richest. They had some money. They spent it on what they could, you know, to raise me. And that's how I really got in love to making money, because my parents had money, but nigga, I want money too. Hey, no investors, just a kid. I was just a kid trying to figure it out. And I said, I'm not finna work no job. So, hey, man, we finna get this. All right, y'all. So growing up, I knew I always wanted more. Cause like I said, I didn't have it bad growing up. You know, I lived in a nice, decent house, you know, eating every day, you know, like I didn't have it bad growing up. I didn't like asking people for money. I would get money for my birthday, you know, this and that. But I always just like, I didn't like asking people for nothing at all. Not even just money, nothing. The older I was getting, you know, the more like money you start to spend, you know. I'm getting older. I'm seeing these new shoes, this and that. I want this, I want that. Well, all that costs money. And when you get older, it start costing more money. Shoes starting to become $100, $200, $300, $400. All that costs money. I'm like, hey, I gotta figure this out. At first, it wasn't nothing crazy. You know, I was just like, you know, a kid making money. You know, I used to cut grass. You know, I tried to, you know, sell little things online or whatever. At that point, I became obsessed with the idea of making y'all just my own money. I ain't want to be rich, y'all. I just, you know, wanted money, freedom. You know, money don't buy happiness, but it do buy freedom. I will say that. Like I said, one of the first things I was doing, y'all, was cutting grass. It wasn't the best. Story time, lizards and all creatures outside getting into my shoe, bro. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do that, y'all. Sweating, pushing the equipment around, going house to house, trying to find people who need their lawns cut. Like, it's just hot as fuck outside. Like, I was not trying to do that. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That was, you know, with me cutting grass. But y'all, eventually, I started realizing that there was only so much money that I could, like, make, you know, doing that. It wasn't bad money at all, trust me. But me going outside and doing all that, I'm like, it's not worth it. Like, I just didn't want to put myself through that. Luckily, you know, I did grow up playing the game, y'all. If y'all don't know, I grew up playing 2K. With that, you know, there was people making YouTube videos. They had thumbnails on their videos. And with that, I fell into love with graphic design. Y'all saw they was making the thumbnails. I'm like, I want me, you know, a profile picture, something like that. Y'all, that's ended up how I found in graphic design and learning how to, you know, make thumbnails. Yeah, I ended up making a PayPal, started charging people. I started off, y'all, with $2. I was charging people just for little profile pictures, you know, or little thumbnails, y'all. That's where it all started. I made a little bit of money and I kind of stopped. And then, like I said, when I was doing the cutting grass and stuff and I was getting older, I'm like, man, I was doing that stuff back in the day and making some money. Like, let me try to restart this business whole thing back up, y'all. So I say by the time I was like 14, 15, I was like 14 going on like 15 years old, I started my graphic design business back up, y'all. And what I was doing from there, I pretty much started cold calling people. I was on Instagram sending people some of my work that I did. I had started off doing people's work for free, showing them, okay, this is my work, this is what I could do. I only charged $2. I was trying to get in where I fit in, get some money anyway, y'all. I was doing that, you know. With doing that, you know, my work started getting better and better and better and better. So then I eventually, you know, I went up to $5, y'all. I was doing that. I just started saving, y'all. I started getting more clientele. I was reaching out to like hundreds of people. Like, I kept copying and pasting the same messages. I was getting new people. Some people wouldn't reach out. Some people was referring me because my work was so good. They're like, oh, I got somebody else that needs something. You know, it was just all like that. It all started flowing. Them $5, y'all, they start adding up. And they start adding up. You know, the more I kept getting better and better at my craft, next thing you know, y'all, I was charging $10 per thumbnail. It kept going. At that point, it was just a grind, you know. It was just like, dang, when I was at the range from like $2 to $5, it was right before I started going to $10. I started, that's when I reached my first $1,000. When I hit that, I was probably like I was 15. I was for sure 15. And it was just like, dang, seeing 3 zeros and a comma. I remember this like it was yesterday, y'all. It was in my Cash App. If I got that picture, I'ma pop it up too, cause I remember it like it was yesterday. I seen 1,000. I'm like, dang, yo. Like I said, I went up to $10. The grind just kept going, you know, it never stopped. Kept reaching out to new people. I started making bundles and package deals. $100 for a month of thumbnails. You know, I was going. It got to a point where it became a real grind. I lost a couple customers from going up from $5 to $10, cause you know, some people thought the work was worth it, you know, other people didn't. It really wasn't bad though, because like I said, I started doubling my money already. I was doing a little bit of less work, but I was still getting the same amount of money. So bam, I was grinding. But y'all, you know, with the grind, you kind of do stuff a lot and it kind of gets on repeat. You just kind of like start dreading it. With all that though, I kept doing it and doing it and doing it, because I kept seeing it go up and up and up. And next thing you know, I end up hitting my first 10K, y'all, at 16. I was right finna turn 17. This was my junior year in high school. That was the majority of how I pretty much saved up to get my first 10 bands. There were other things I was doing in there to make some money. Like, you know, I probably got like a little check from YouTube every now and then. You know, there was other things. For the most part, that was pretty much how I saved up my first 10. It was all through social media. Like, I was on Instagram, just reaching out to people. Like I said, the work was speaking for itself. When I hit the 10 bands, like at that point, I was kind of already numb, because I had like, this is just an example. This only like a band, right? But when I'm saying I already had like I said, my first band. So then at that point, I was already just like, you know, thumbing through money. And at that point, like I hit 10K and it was just like, dang. But yeah, that's how I hit my first 10K. Like I said, I was doing graphic design on Photoshop. Hey, if y'all want to learn how to become a graphic designer, go into the link into the description. Looking back, there were 3 things that helped me reach that first $10,000. Number 1, I started before I felt ready. I started down at $2. Who does work for $2? I just wanted some money. I felt like I wasn't ready, but I still started anyways. I got to start, y'all. If you don't ever start nothing, you never have a benchmark to go off of to get better. So if you think about starting anything, start it. Number 2, I learned a skill that people needed and would pay for. It was graphic design. I needed the skill myself, so I learned myself. It's a skill that everybody else needed. They was willing to pay for it, and bam, that's that. And number 3, I stayed consistent long enough to see results. You might not get clients in the first time. Like I said, I did some work for free. Some people, they reached back out and started paying. Other people didn't. Within all that, I stayed consistent throughout the whole time, and then I ended up seeing results. Yo, that first 10,000 changed the way I look at money forever. Like I said, I was 16, so it showed that age doesn't matter as much as what people think. I touched my first 10K at 16. That's special, because not a lot of people, you know, can really say that. Don't need permission to start. Don't need everything figured out. You just need to take action and do whatever business y'all want to start up to do to, you know, make that. If it's graphic design, y'all let me know down in the comments. And yeah, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure y'all leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, y'all, the hustle y'all finna start up. And I'll see y'all in my next video though. I'm out.